Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I'm a flight attendant with a major US airline. So this month I am on what is called reserve, and reserve is like you're on call. You know what your days off are, but you have no idea where you're going. You just know what days you're working. Now when you're on reserve, you can bid for trips that are like in open time, and so I bid for this trip to London as the number 2, which is the galley person who prepares all the carts and meals, etc., on the wide body aircraft. And I am like so stressing out because I've never been the galley person on a wide body to Europe. So freaking out a little bit, but happy to be going to London, especially during the winter time. Maybe the Christmas lights are still up, so I'm excited about that. Anyways, it's the night before. I'm just doing my laundry. I'm going to get to packing. And then I also have to go through all my toiletries because the UK is very strict on liquids. So I'm just going to pretty much take out whatever is liquid out of my bag and just combine all my toiletries in one, because they are very thorough when they check everything, and I don't want to be written in there like negative book, like I get my name on the board. I don't want that to happen. So that is what I'm doing this evening. I'll let you know how it goes, but this vlog, I am just feeling the pressure already. Please, please, please. I think tomorrow when I get there, I'm going to tell the purser, I'm just going to be honest with them and tell them, look, I've never been the number 2 on a wide body going to Europe. This is my first time. I don't even know where to begin, and see what happens. I hope they'll help me out. I'm sure they will, but I am very nervous. I'm not going to let it consume me though. But stay tuned on this adventure. Okay, I'm all ironed. It is the next morning. I'm just about ready to go. I'm going to get dressed. And yeah, so I was feeling a little bit anxious this morning about having to be the galley person, the number 2 on the wide body to Europe. But you know what? There's always a first time for everything, and everyone has had this same first time. So I'm going to try not to overthink it. I made it to Miami on my first booked flight, and so I've been here, got on the computer, took care of some work things. Now I have like 3 hours before I have to be at the gate. I'm gonna go take out some money from the ATM because we have a credit union in this airport. Got a notification that it's supposed to start raining lightly here in a little bit. It seems like no matter what time of year, the Miami airport is always busy with people going to and fro. Now, not the most glamorous scene, but here's a view of the Miami airport from the crew operation side, and a little pitter patter of rain. Look at that. And alas, it's time for me to be the number 2 on this flight. I am so darn nervous. I just finished working the first part of the flight, and now it's my turn to have a break. I am going to have a 2-hour and 15-minute nap up here in these cabins that are above the ceiling where passengers sit in main cabin. It's not very big, but it's just enough to catch a little shut-eye.
belongings is claiming here at London Heathrow. Passengers PAL, Party 2, travelling on to Amsterdam, please contact the agent at the aircraft door. Please remember all your personal belongings before leaving the aircraft. You cannot come back on board once you have left it, and it may take some time for us to retrieve your items. So, please check in the overhead bins in the backs of the seats, under the seats before leaving the aircraft. If you have any gate check strollers, please collect at the top of the walkway once you've left the aircraft. On behalf of the ground crew here at London Heathrow, we thank you for flying American Airlines, and we hope to see you on board our aircraft soon, and we'd like to wish you a Happy New Year.
I'm at the hotel, checked in. I will do a debrief and a room tour after I get some sleep. I am so tired. My eyeliner's starting to run, but I'm here in London. Debrief in a little bit, a couple hours. I will say this, it is freezing here, it is windy, it is foggy, my toes are frozen, my body is frozen. It was so cold in the bus coming here. I cranked up the heat to high. I'm under the blankets. I am trying to get warm. It's very, very cold here. Hi guys. Okay, so do I have a lot to unpack? I survived being flight attendant number 2, the Galley flight attendant on the trip to London. It was a lot of work, but luckily I had an amazing crew to help me out and to teach me everything that I needed to know about that position. I'll unpack all of that in just a little bit, but let's go ahead and do a room tour, and then I will get into unpacking how my day was in detail. Okay, so when you first come in here, you have 2 switches here. The room was dark when I came in. You hit the switches and then it turns all the lights on, and the bathroom light too. We'll go ahead and see the room first. I've already started to unpack a little bit, get into things, but as soon as I came in, I went straight to that bed and I slept for like 2.5 hours. So here we have a desk, and sorry if you can hear my pants rustling, I'm wearing corduroys. You have different plugs here. So you have UK plug, a Euro plug, a US plug, and then I did bring an adapter for extra charging. My little snowflake brooch that I wore on my cardigan earlier. A magazine here, Art Hotel. So I think this is about art in the area maybe, or around London. I haven't read it, in all fairness. A bed. This mural, behind this mural is where the closet is. It's kind of a neat mural. I like her retro looking 60s makeup. Hair dryer, safe, ironing board, shoe rack or luggage rack, and then a coffee station with some water and some tea. I should say a tea station with tea and some real milk there, and a tea kettle. So that's the room. The bed was very comfy. Like I said, I was able to sleep. There's not much of a view. I closed these because there are neighbors. From other parts of the hotel, you can see various sights, but from here, this is my view. Look at how foggy it is out. And this is just like a big bench or sitting area maybe. But we'll move over to the bathroom. So there's a separate tub and shower. And that's the room tour. Okay, so I will say I was very, very nervous. And I kept trying to not let my mind win that battle, but I was nervous, like the first day of school or the first day on the job or the first day after training when I actually had to work and I could be lead flight attendant. That's how it felt. I battled in my head. I tried really hard to not get too wrapped up in overthinking it, but it did kind of get the best of me for a little bit. I was even prepared to pay someone to swap positions with me just because I did not want to be the number 2. So when I got to the gate, I introduced myself to the other flight attendants that were there, and I asked if anyone wanted to trade. Nobody wanted to trade. There were actually a lot of those senior flight attendants that had never been number 2, which I was surprised, but I get it. It's a lot of work, a lot of responsibility. And so one super nice crew member, the person, the number 3 that works close with me and helps me set up the galley, said, look, I don't want to swap with you. I won't swap with you, but I'll tell you what, I will teach you how to do this job. And so that was wonderful. That took the pressure off of me, and I felt wonderful. So I took lots of notes. I tried to make as many notes as I could to try to remember, because if I get this another time and I have to be the number 2 on another IPD, International Premium Destination, I want to be better prepared and not be like deer in headlights. So I found some paper on board and I had a pen. If you're going to be the number 2, definitely pack a pen. If you can take little sticky notes, and I contemplated this, I didn't do it. If you could take little sticky notes, you can do that, because I did work with someone who did that, and that was a way that she organized everything. The galley is huge. I'll post a picture right here. There's so many spaces above. There's so many spaces on the bottom where things are stored. There's so much food in the ovens. There's so much food in the other carts. So it's just a lot going on. You have the dinner service, dinner and drink service, and then you have you put out snacks for the middle of the flight, and then you serve like a breakfast right before you arrive. So you have to manage your time wisely. And there was another flight attendant, and he was just wonderful, keeping me on my time management. Man, he's like a senior papa, and he was like, keep an eye on the time, keep an eye on the time. And it was sort of like that fatherly, listen to what I'm saying sort of thing, and I needed that. So I had a good mixture of teachers. Now I tried to take notes in the middle of all this chaos of what this role was. Okay, so I may miss some steps, but at least I have a skeleton layout of what needs to be done, and then the next time I do this role, I'll plug in what I'm missing. So one, I put count meals. As soon as I got on the airplane, I did my safety checks, checked what I was responsible for, and put my luggage up. The catering person was on there, and she had her paperwork, and we went over all of the meals, all of the pre-orders, all of the specials, and once her and I confirmed that everything was correct, she took my employee number and she had me sign off on it. So that is what I did right away. Then I started building beverage toppers for the beverage carts. So the flight attendant number 3 went back there, and another flight attendant went back there, and they started building their carts. So this is a wide body airplane. So one cart goes down aircraft right, that aisle. Another cart goes down aircraft left, down that aisle, and those flight attendants built their beverage carts. So they did their crushed ice, they put their sodas, they put their mixers, they put their liquor, they put their beers, they put extra juices, they put extra waters. I built the toppers on top. So the toppers on top have things like your sugar, your Splenda, your stirrers for the drinks or for coffee and tea, your creamers, and then I eventually would put a tea and a coffee, water bottles, and this is different because you also put a red wine and a white wine on top of these toppers. These toppers are huge. Napkins, you also have to put napkins on there. So yeah, the biggest change for me is adding the red wine and the white wine to the toppers. And then the water bottles, instead of the regular 1 liter bottles that I'm used to, they were 1.5 liter bottles. So these things were ginormous. The next thing I did was put together trash carts. So we make trash carts out of like the empty carts, and we use like a tray and a liner, and it's this whole little system. So I prepared trash carts, and then those got sent to the middle galley for when it was time to pick up trash. They could grab it from the middle galley, and then I set up some trash carts in the aft galley where I was. Once the plane pushes back from the gate, once all passengers are seated and the safety demo is done and the airplane pushes back from the gate, then that's when I start to cook the food. I was told to cook it at 275 for 40 minutes. So that's what I did. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I had 5 ovens maybe. I'll post a picture right here, but I think I had 5 ovens that I was cooking food in. Next thing I did was I made a map of where the special meals go, where the pre-orders went. These were all of our pre-orders for this flight, and this isn't even a lot of pre-orders. This is few compared to what it is normally. But I had a chicken meal, I had a vegan meal, I had 4 children's meals, I had 4 gluten-free meals, I had an NLML meal, a pasta meal, a vegetarian meal. So all these passengers, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 passengers that these special meals have to go to. So what I did was I made a map of sorts, and this is what my map looks like, because this is the wide body airplane. So I divided the cabin in half. So I have A, B, C, D, and E on one side, that's aircraft left, and then I have G, H, J, K, and L on aircraft right. And then I labeled the passenger seat numbers and what meal goes there. So the flight attendants working on aircraft left can deliver those meals, right can deliver those meals before we go out and do the rest of the meals for the other passengers in premium economy and main cabin. That just makes everything flow so much smoother. So I did that. I made my little, I'm calling it a food map. So it's a food map. And then I loaded the coffee and the tea in each coffee and tea maker on each side. So there's a total of 4. So I loaded 1 coffee, 1 tea on each side, and then extra tea bags, extra coffee, because as soon as those are done, I pour them in pitchers and I get the brew going for the next one. Flight time was 8 hours and 15 minutes, and in between there, each flight attendant in 2 shifts, we get a 2 hour and 15 minute break. You also have to put out water and snacks midway. I forgot to do that before they sent me on my break, but luckily my other flight attendants helped me and they put those out. So we put water, we put bottles of water, and we put a stack of cups, and then we had pretzels, some other little snack foodies in this bin that we set out nicely. And then of course, if a passenger wants something different, a different beverage, of course we can get that for them. So when I came back from my nap, I started preparing on like the arrival meal, and this is like the breakfast. So we have milk that was cold, so I put the milks, each of the milks, they were like liters of milk, in hot water to start warming that milk, because we're going to make 3 pitchers for each side. One is going to be black coffee, one is going to be coffee with milk, and another one is going to be tea. And so you want that milk to be warm for those items. So I prepared 3 pots for each side, so 6 pots total. And then the premium economy breakfast had like this special cinnamon bread that I had to warm, so I threw that in the oven to warm. And as the premium economy bread was warming, me and a couple of other flight attendants started unwrapping all of the premium economy trays, because they had fresh fruit, they had a yogurt, they had a granola, they have their silverware, they have their cloth napkin. And so, yeah, the saran wrap, it's like all wrapped in a saran wrap. So we pull that off. That way, when we're out doing service, we just take the bread with the tongs, we place it in the appropriate ramekin, and then we pass the tray to the passenger, and that just makes everything go quickly. Then we pass out specials again, because whoever ordered specials for dinner also had specials for the breakfast. So those get loaded onto the cart, and as they go out and they do service, they'll hand out the specials, they'll hand out the breakfast, and then once that's done, then they go with trash again. So once they bring their carts back and they take out the trash, I'm breaking down those carts and storing them away. I'm taking any unused, untouched food and kind of compiling it together in one cart and just organizing stuff and getting stuff put away. So there's a lot of what I'm doing in the back is in between carts. I am doing cleanup, I'm doing put away, I am checking on both sides to see if they need anything. Like at one point I had to refill the coffee pots, and I had to make more coffee and milk, and I had to run out more meals, because during dinner, like, they run out of entrees. There's a few carts that go out loaded with trays and loaded with entrees, and so those run out, and I'm refreshing those, and it's just a lot of work. A lot of work, but I am so happy that I got through it. I'm so relieved, I should say. So now I'm here. Oh, I should say, before we land, I had to inventory all of the liquor. So I had a flight attendant help me. He knew how to do this. We had to count all the beer. We had to count all the wine. We had to document what size of wine was left. And they were like these big, I think 750 milliliter jugs. All of the minis, we had to document all of the minis. We had to document which cart they were in. We had to seal the cart on both sides. And I had to log the serial number for each tag that I sealed the card in, and then I had to sign off on paperwork and leave it with a number 1. And I was told that if you don't do that paperwork right, or you didn't do something right, they will call you. They will call you at your hotel to let you know, and in some cases they will have you go back down to the airport to do it right. I hope that does not happen to me. So I'm here now in London. I am going to, it is so cold outside, it is so foggy, but I'm gonna go out and I'm going to buy something to eat for dinner, and then I'm going to see if I find a little souvenir. So I have something in mind that I'm looking for. It's a little Paddington Bear keychain to like hook on my bag, so I know that bag is mine. So I hope that I can venture out quickly, not too far, and find that. So I'm gonna head out now. See Big Ben down in the distance in Westminster. See the fog through here. I just returned from a Marks and Spencer shopping haul, and I'll show you what I bought. I went there to get something to eat and to get food for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be working like a 10-hour day. And it's all bad food, so don't judge, please. I bought M&S Boxing Day Turkey Curry Crisps. And the thing I'm most excited about, because the first trip that I worked out here to London, a flight attendant told me about Coronation chicken. And he said it was so delicious. I finally found a Coronation chicken sandwich. So this will be my dinner this evening. And then I bought a smoked ham, mustard, and mayo sandwich for tomorrow. That will be tomorrow's meal, working my 10-hour day on the way back. I bought still Scottish mountain water. What else did I get? These I bought to take home, but they're jam sandwich creams. A little cookie or a little biscuit to have with some tea. And then I bought from their bakery a muffin with cranberries, pumpkin seeds, and oats. And then I bought a little mince pie. So all of this stuff was £12 and 1 pence. So not bad. I'm gonna leave you there. I feel like I did a lot of talking. My mouth is dry. I need some water. But if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel and you're interested in seeing what the life of a flight attendant is like, or just curious what this person's life is like, then please hit the subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed. Until next time, bye guys. Thank you for watching.